After more than a year of fighting that resulted in thousands of deaths and a humanitarian disaster of great proportions, international mediators have confirmed that Israel and Hamas have reached an agreement for a ceasefire. This pact, considered a milestone in peace negotiations, includes the phased release of dozens of hostages and the return of Palestinian prisoners held in Israel. According to U.S. sources, implementation is expected to begin in the coming days, bringing hope to thousands affected by the conflict. A scene of celebration and caution. In the city of Khan Yunis, located in southern Gaza, crowds celebrated the announcement of the agreement. For many, like Ashraf Sawil, displaced from Gaza City, the truce represents relief after months of suffering. "We hope the ceasefire is implemented and brings new hope to our lives," said Sawil, currently living in a makeshift camp with his family. However, in Tel Aviv, the reaction was more subdued. Families of hostages still held in Gaza expressed a mix of hope and skepticism. Sharona Lifshitz, whose father is among the hostages, said she is grateful but emphasized that complete joy will only come when all the hostages are safe at home. The devastating impact of the war. Since the conflict began in October 2023, the war between Israel and Hamas has caused a tragic death toll. Hamas's initial attack on Israeli territory resulted in the deaths of approximately 1,200 people and the kidnapping of about 250. In response, Israel launched an offensive that killed more than 46,000 Palestinians in Gaza, according to the local Ministry of Health. Women and children account for more than half of the victims, although no official distinction is made between civilians and combatants. Humanitarian conditions in the territory are also alarming. About 2 million Palestinians have been displaced due to bombings, facing food shortages, inadequate shelter, and destroyed infrastructure. Returning to our land, even if it is devastated, is better than remaining in the humiliation of provisional camps, lamented Aman Abu Jarad, a displaced resident of Beit Hanun. Details of the agreement. Negotiations for the ceasefire were conducted in Doha, Qatar, with mediation by various international powers. The agreement provides for the gradual release of Israeli hostages by Hamas, the release of hundreds of Palestinian prisoners in Israel, the entry of humanitarian aid into the devastated territory, permission for hundreds of thousands of displaced people to return to their homes. Despite the optimism generated by the announcement, the implementation of the agreement faces challenges. A last-minute obstacle related to security conditions at Gaza's border with Egypt was resolved after intense negotiations. According to a Hamas official, adjustments to Israeli proposals allowed progress in the process. International reactions and Gaza's future. The agreement was met with caution by global leaders. In the United States, President Joe Biden called the ceasefire a significant step toward peace. In Norway, Foreign Minister Espen Barth Eide emphasized that the truce should be the start of a comprehensive solution to the conflict. He highlighted the need for Gaza's reconstruction and broader dialogue between Palestinians and Israelis. On the other hand, Palestinian leaders affirmed that the future of the Gaza Strip must be exclusively led by the Palestinian Authority. The consolidation of unified leadership is essential for progress, declared Mohammed Mustafa, the Palestinian Prime Minister. Hopes and dilemmas. For many analysts, the ceasefire represents a rare opportunity to end one of the region's most devastating conflicts. However, significant challenges remain. Mutual distrust between the parties, deep internal political divisions, and the material and psychological destruction in Gaza are barriers that will need to be overcome for peace to be sustainable.